Alright, Freeport. This is Manning Rollerson. How could I turn the screen around? Okay, I'm gonna drive by here. From yesterday's statement or the article that I saw with Miss Jessie concerning Living Word Church and the facts. Now these are the land, the lots that's behind the church, okay? And in the article it shows that the grass is super high at the church. I would like for y'all to see the grass, where that grass is high at. It's the ditches that belongs to the city. It's the city's responsibility and obligation to clean these ditches. Now this is the grass at Living Word Christian Church. That grass was mowed in that picture. It needs mowing. And it only been mowed a week ago. So the grass wasn't high. But this is what the Brazosport Facts did in the newspaper. So let me show you an example of what the Facts did in the newspaper. This same grass right here, is where they took the camera and did like this to show this building. When clearly you can see that the grass is cut. Clearly you can see that it's this ditch that the city is obligated to keep up that they don't. So what is to condemn this? Everyone cut their grass every 2 weeks. City of Freeport. So let's make this very simple and very clear. This building and this property, the grass was cut. What the problem is you, Miss Phyllis. You made a statement in the newspaper. You said that Manning Rollerson had the keys to this property. That was your statement in the newspaper, okay? Now, Precinct 1 and 2 will verify that Manning Rollerson was evicting the occupants in this building that was having church. It's 2 court cases on that. I also contact Refuge Temple Ministries, who had a church here in the 70s when I first started going to church here. Okay? So, where you stated that there was more than one business or entity in this building, it has always been a church. So correct your statements, Miss Phyllis, because you put them in writing and you have no evidence to back up your statement. So when you accuse Manning Rollerson of having the keys to this building, you lied. That's defamation of character. And it's outright slanderous. Okay? The members of Living Word was fighting to get that church back. And you put a lie in the newspaper so the citizens of Brazoria County can fall for your lies, as they always do. So I'm challenging religious freedom in the state of Texas. Because when you can take someone's house of worship, then there is no religious freedom in the United States. And Section 2 of the Constitution does not apply to African Americans in Freeport, Texas. So, Ms. Phyllis, Port of Freeport, you need to recant that statement because I have enough evidence to prove with the court of law Manning hadn't had possession until after July the 15th of 2020 of this church. So stop lying and recant the story or I'll sue you for slander. Phyllis. And I don't have to sue you in your capacity. I can civil sue you as an American citizen. Take it down, Miss Phyllis. Recant the story or there will be legal consequences for you. Y'all have a great day. So now I'm gonna travel on down here to my property where you would come from this church and go down this road, because we walk to church some Sundays. Church is here, and this is where we will walk from. My grandmother would walk with us down this road right here on Broad Street. Gladney had his ice house right there. We used to grab our pops out the machine right there. Right there. Granddaddy used to unload the cocaine or the bales of weed for Gladney right there. Let's talk about the history of the East End. Since you want to talk about the criminality and all that about the East End, let's talk about the criminality of the East End. Because the criminality of the East End came from our governmental officials that represent this side of town. Okay? I'm sitting here like Miss Jessie. I grew up here. Homes was everywhere. We used to own this lot right here. Right here. My mom bought that from Miss Nesmith. Right here. Okay? Then her daughter, after she died, tried to take it from us. That was in a civil action. And you know what? We have never found out anything about that property. The city owns it. But yet the people that was buying it, it was taken from them. This is something that happens here all the time in Brazoria County, especially in this area where minority people live at. So they would say that I don't keep up my yard, but look at that. That's not my pole. And these ditches right here, those are not my responsibility. The responsibility of every last one of these ditches lies on the city and the county. I sprayed chemical in it. I do not have to clean your ditches, and I will not clean your ditches. So you clean your own damn ditches. It's not my responsibility. If anything, I should be bringing a federal case against the city of Freeport for extorting us, and the county for extorting us for services that we are not being rendered. What does that say about our leadership in this county when they can extort the citizens and force them to do jobs that they're taking payment for, that they're not supplying for the people as they stated what they're taking the taxes for? So let's not get it twisted. Manning Roberson will challenge every single bit of this governance body of this county. Enough is enough. We shouldn't have to second guess our government from doing wrong to people. And that's what y'all capable of. Treating people and doing them wrong and lying. Phyllis, you outright lied, and every judge in this county knows you outright lied. It wasn't in February that y'all filed that on that church. It wasn't. Because by that time, we was in court. And you knew who owned that church. Because I called Diana Cal, and I told Diana Cal that Root was the last board member of that church. You guys knew. But you guys used the system because y'all liars. All of y'all liars and deceitful. So, with that being said, since everybody says that they do is in the name of Christ and all this shit right here, I'm going to tell you like this. The Second Amendment of the Constitution that deals with religious freedom, that applies to the members of Living Word Christian Church at 301 East Broad. So Randy Weber, Dennis Barnon, John Cornyn, Ted Cruz, Governor Abbott, Kim Paxton, every last one of y'all need to explain to the residents right here in Freeport and in Brazoria County and in this great state of Texas, why black members of Living Word Christian Church in 301 East Broad cannot exercise their constitutional right to practice their religion in their church. And if you cannot explain that, then we need to abolish the Religious Freedom Act. We need to abolish it because it's not right to take our church and say it's for progress. A church is already a public building. It's not right. And y'all talk about religious freedoms. Well, where are our religious freedoms as black people in Freeport, Texas, in Brazoria County, in this great state of Texas, who all say that this is a highly religious state? But we got babies in cages. These are God people. So I'm going to put this in this factor right here. Because there were many gods in the Bible. There were many gods in the Bible day that were spoke of. King Nebuchadnezzar was one of those that ruled, worshiped gods, and the people worshiped those gods. So there are different gods. But your God that you have on the back of them trucks, on this state trucks, is not the God that Manning Roberson served. Okay? So, in God we trust must be removed off every state vehicle. I will sue this class action, sue this state by myself. Because in the Constitution, you can't force religion on no one. So don't force your God on me, because it's not the same God. So I'm challenging the religious freedoms of the Constitution behind that church at 301 East Broad Street, Freeport, Texas, 77541. Ms. Fellis, CEO of the Port of Freeport, recant your yesterday's statement inside the Brazos Port Facts, or I will silver sue you, not in your capacity of CEO of the port, but in your capacity as the person that spreaded those rumors, defamation of my character, and outright slander concerning that church and those keys. You got a choice to make, because I'm not playing with none of y'all. Y'all talk about we are ruled under governance, but where's the governance in Brazoria County? They are crooks, they're extortionists, and they are violating every single right of African Americans